Recently, we've seen a lot of programs that have had gamers in mind on the chopping block. Best Buy's Gamers Club, which was a fantastic service for people who shopped at Best Buy, was unfortunately pretty much dribbled out. They got rid of it, and they said if you still had it, they'll acknowledge it, but they're not allowing new people to come in. And a lot of people were upset because a lot of people buy video games from Best Buy. GameStop was next on the chopping block with their their Elite Pro membership now going away, and now the only thing you have available to you is the Pro membership. We did a video talking about that, sort of speculating why that is, but yes, Elite Pro memberships are now done with, and you can no longer get them. So the only bastion of gaming rewarding program was, of course, Amazon Prime, which is a service that I use all the time for my games. You would get 20% off pre-orders for new games, and they've tinkered with it a little bit. They started talking about collections and remasters and collector's editions not being able to be a part of that program, but I hadn't really seen anything that impacted me as a consumer. All of the games that I wanted to pre-order or buy right before the game came out, I was still able to do it, and I was still able to get that 20%. Well, now that's coming to an end as well. Amazon announced some changes to their Prime program today, and honestly, it kind of sucks. So what's going on with Amazon Prime? Why are they doing this? And what sort of other ramifications does this have? Sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and let's get into this situation.
Hey, RGT 85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards!
So yes, Amazon Prime is indeed changing up some things when it comes to the gaming world. The first thing that they're changing up is stuff that has to do with Twitch, which honestly, I don't really care about that because I'm not on Twitch. I don't ever stream on Twitch, but I know there was some benefit for being a Prime member and using Twitch. I think it had to do something with ads. You didn't have to see any ads, and people would get revenue from Amazon Prime's Twitch thing as far as the streamers were concerned. So it really worked out for everyone, but it looks like they are getting rid of that program. I've seen a lot of people that are Twitch streamers that are a bit upset by this. I'm gonna let them do videos on that because, like I said, that's not my world. That's nothing I'm really a part of. I don't really understand it. I just stream on YouTube whenever I decide to stream, so that doesn't really impact me. But the big thing that does impact me is the getting rid of the 20% of pre-orders for pre-order games and changing it to something else. So Amazon announced today that starting on August 28th, Prime members will now get a $10 Amazon credit when pre-ordering select games on Amazon.com. This credit can be used on almost anything sold by Amazon.com. This new pre-order benefit is replacing the current discount on physical game pre-orders. All eligible pre-orders placed before August 28th will still receive the 20% discount under the existing benefit once the game is released. For more information and restrictions on the new Prime benefit, please click here. And honestly, there's a lot of things I don't like about that, because when you look at it, you were saving more than $10 when it came to a $60 game. A $60 game was $47.99, and since you're a Prime member, you got free shipping on that. So you were saving about $12 instead of $10. And I know what you're saying to yourself, oh, you know, RGT, it's only a $2 difference, not that big of a deal. And you would be sort of right with that. I do understand that train of thought. However, the way they're distributing that $10 is not $10 in your pocket, it's $10 to spend on Amazon, which once again is fine, but I kind of liked having $12 in my pocket than $10 to spend on Amazon, because it's like, you know, I would rather be able to go buy anything anywhere with that $12 than just be restricted to $10. Now, they do say select games, and that's what really worries me, because you gotta remember, not every game is a $60 game. There's lots of $40 games and $50 games and $30 games that release. So am I going to get $10 off of a $30 game? That would be really silly in my opinion, because you would get less than that off if you did it with the 20%. So I got to imagine that there's going to be a lot of restrictions on this, and there's going to be a lot of games that will not be applicable for this because it's a $10 straight across the board thing. And that really worries me, to be honest. You've already seen them sort of cutting back on things like collector's editions and stuff like that. So can I get $10 off the collector's edition now, since I wasn't able to get 20% off of the things? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. And when you start to look at the fine print of the situation, some more red flags sort of pop up in my opinion. The maximum benefit you receive from this offer is $10 in Amazon promotional credit per qualifying offer. So is there going to be less for games that are $40 or less for games that are $50? You kind of need to let people know about this, considering you're dropping this program in what, 8 days? So I would like to know how exactly this is going to work. You will receive an email from Amazon up to 35 days after the qualifying purchase is delivered or made available that indicates that that $10 in Amazon promotional credit has been added to your customer account. This email will also provide instructions on how to redeem the promotional credit. So basically you have to wait for the game to be delivered before you can get that $10. With the $12 I was saving with the 20%, it just automatically happened. I would buy it, I would pay for it, I would pay $48 for it, have it shipped to my house on release day, and I didn't have to worry about that $12. Now that it's $10, you're gonna charge me it all up front and then reimburse me? It's like, so I don't know, I really don't like that. And another thing I don't really like is that the fact that you only have 60 days to use that credit when you get it in the fine print of this. So like you're putting a time restriction on it, and I get what you're saying. Well, there's other ways to buy games. You can always trade in games, you can always go to GameStop and trade in stuff, you can trade in stuff at Best Buy, etc., etc. But I like Amazon Prime because of the simplicity of it. You know, when a game releases on a certain day, I can order it via Amazon and get it on release day. As someone who works from home, that's very beneficial to me. You know, I could work on other projects. When the mailman comes and delivers my new game, then I start working on that new game and checking things out with that game. So now we have to ask ourselves the question, why are all these programs starting to disappear or changing heavily? First it was Best Buy, then it was GameStop, now it's Amazon. With Best Buy, I always thought it was a peculiar situation because I didn't really see how this benefited them really in the long run, because there's not a lot of money in new video game sales. Everyone realizes it, everyone knows that. You're pretty much trying to get people to buy other stuff when it comes to, you know, new video games and things like that to sort of make up whatever you have a better profit margin on. But I always thought the Best Buy Gamers Club was a cool program, but you have to figure that they realize this wouldn't be, you know, a huge burst for them. It wouldn't be a huge thing. GameStop, once again, there's not a lot of money in new game stuff, but I don't really foresee why they're getting rid of theirs. Obviously they're having a lot of business troubles. Obviously the landscape is definitely changing for them, so I could kind of understand that. But Amazon, come on, you're a huge company. You're one of the richest companies in the world. Are you really that concerned about a small loss when it comes to new game stuff, when people are buying other stuff on your website? Is it really that detrimental to give that 20% discount to where now you have to give $10 in store stuff and to use on your website? It just seems silly to me, but I think it's sort of a ripple effect as well. Since Best Buy was the first company to get rid of their program, I think that really planted a seed in other companies' minds, like, you know what, we could get rid of our program, or we could drastically change our program. We could totally rework our program to be more beneficial to us. So I really sort of blame Best Buy when it comes to this, because them getting rid of their Gamers Club Unlocked program really started to get those gears in motion. And you would think from a business perspective that places like GameStop and places like Amazon would actually want to step in and be like, hey, you had a Best Buy Gamers Club program, well, come check out our program. It's almost as good, or it's nearly as good, or it's a little different, but you'll get these benefits. It really seems like a missed opportunity for a lot of these companies. If I was on the marketing team, or, you know, the team that devises these sort of things, I would have tried to have capitalized on Gamers Club closing down. I would have tried to have capitalized on the Elite Pro membership going away, instead of making it worse for people who use your service and saving them less money and really just making a service that nobody really asked for. Amazon Prime is a cool service. I like the video stuff. I like the free 2-day shipping. I like the release day delivery, but I really loved saving 20% off on new games, especially the big $60 one. And one other thing you have to factor in is the fact that I'm speaking from a US perspective on this, where the games are just $60 when they are brand new. In places like Canada that have Amazon Prime, new games are $80. So that 20% was saving them a good chunk of money. Plus, when you were getting the free shipping as well, it was really helpful to them. I think they would appreciated that 20% a lot more than that $10. Honestly, it's just a shame all around, because I feel like Amazon is a company that could easily support a system like this. They obviously make hand over fist in money. Money isn't a big deal to them. So to try to cut corners on something like this that was actually helping people, something that could potentially lead to more impulse buys. You know, not everyone wants to spend $60 on the newest game, but if you were getting that game for $48 plus free shipping, it might have led to more impulse buys. That might have actually led to more new video game sales. I know there have been games that maybe I wasn't all that interested in, but when I factored in my 20% off discount, I became a little bit more interested in it and said, you know what, I could spring that. It's definitely worth checking out for that price as opposed to the full retail price. Honestly though, it just sucks. I think that maybe people won't be canceling their Prime memberships over this. I obviously use my Prime membership for a lot more things than just video games, but if you are using it for just video games, with Amazon's consistently rising fees for their Prime membership, it might be time to take a second look at it. It might be time to move on. So I don't know. Let me know what you feel about this situation in the comments section down below. Do you use Amazon Prime enough with other things to where it's still a worthwhile investment for you, or did you only use it for gaming and now it's kind of like, well, is this really worth it to me me anymore? Let me know in the comments down below, and as always, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. We're doing all sorts of news videos, review videos, all sorts of crazy stuff on here, modern stuff, retro stuff. Who the hell knows what I'm going to do next? And as always, I will catch you guys on the next video. Later.